Do 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 do. Hello, everybody. We are going to get the stream started. Here, where's my music? All right, howdy, everybody. Happy Chinese New Year's Eve. I hope y'all are having a great time at home, wherever you are, whatever time of the year it is for you. Apparently for the people on the moon, it's New Year's. Alright. Where is my file? I don't even know where I put it. For some reason Photoshop is on. I'm going to turn it off. Whenever I start Photoshop, if my tablet isn't plugged in, I'm talking about my Cintiq, my Wacom Cintiq tablet, if it's not plugged in when Photoshop opens, then things don't work properly. Same as for when it's plugged in and I turn on Photoshop and then unplug it. I can't use my laptop just to use it. I'll have to quit and restart. I don't know if that's just a thing that all Cintiqs do or if it's a quirk from mine, but that's what it is. It's how it works. As long as you know how it works and how to use it, and that's about all you can ask for. Alright, well. So I've been working on these tarot cards. They've been a lot of fun. It was a prompt on one of my Discord servers that I frequent. And I've got only 2 left to do. And the last 2 are because they're rather difficult. So Death is one of them. And I finally figured out who I want Death to be. Hi, Chico! He says, pro tip, if the tablet's acting weird, there's probably dirt inside the pen. Golly! No, it's not a pen issue. It's, a software issue. It's like the, how do I say it? Like the move tool won't move things properly. Like, let me show you. If I try to use, let me just draw a little circle. If I try to use my keypad to move it, it just bounces back. And it's moving a little bit, but I'm using my trackpad right now on my laptop to try and move it, and it bounces back. But if I use my tablet pen, I can move it around. So if I wanted to be able to use my laptop to do it, I'll have to unplug my tablet from the computer. I think it's because it syncs the controls to a certain interface, and it expects me to use my tablet pen on my tablet screen, so it makes the laptop not work as well. Should probably make a death card scarier than Death. So, the Death card is actually pretty interesting. So I've been reading up on tarots. Let's see. So when the Fool gets to the Death card, so if you didn't know, the tarot cards are all telling a story, starting from number 0 all the way to whatever the last one is. And the Fool from the card 0 is supposed to be the main character that sort of travels through life, essentially. So when it gets to Death, it says, the Fool now begins to eliminate old habits and tired approaches. He cuts out non-essentials because he appreciates the basics of life. He goes through endings as he puts the outgrowth aspects of his life behind him. He processes many, it says he process, but I think it means the process may seem like dying because it is the death of his familiar self to allow for the growth of a new one. At times, this inexorable change seems to be crushing the Fool, but eventually he rises up to discover that death is not a permanent state, it is simply a transition to a new, more fulfilling way of life. So it's almost saying like death isn't talking about the final death. It's more like you've, in a story sense, you've reached the lowest point and now you're changing and you're becoming new again. So it's not exactly a bad card, despite the name. And I thought a good representation for the death card, maybe not for herself necessarily. For all the other cards, I've kind of chosen characters that the card represents. But for this one, I chose a character that represents the card, and that's Skyla from Mistralton City. So in the death card, you've got Death riding on a white horse, which I've represented here with Skyla riding on her white swan Pokemon. And then on the ground, there's a king who is lying dead and some people who are begging for mercy, I suppose, even though death comes for all. And I kind of skipped the people. I felt like it was a little crowded, and I couldn't think of anyone to put for them. I did include the pillars in the background with the sun. So let's turn that off. Let's turn on the sketch. This is what I have so far. I've already done a couple of testigos. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this card because I ran out of time yesterday. Couldn't finish it yesterday. I'm gonna finish it today. And the other card that I haven't gotten to yet is the Tower card. And the Tower card is a really cool card, but its depiction is kind of lame. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So I hope everyone's having a good night. I get off work at a certain time, so I missed the family gathering that we had. Like, usually we have a meal on Chinese New Year's Eve. But my parents brought food home from the restaurant, so it's a nice takeout Chinese food. Had some dumplings that my mom made. I think that's like some sort of tradition or whatnot, that you're supposed to eat dumplings on Chinese New Year. I'm gonna catch the Centret. Catch Centret. there are a lot of Chinese New Year traditions. Can't keep track of all of them. My favorite one is obviously the hongbao, which is the red bag, is what it literally means. But you basically go to your elders, usually a grandmother or a grandfather, and then you say like Happy New Year. What does it mean? Happy New Year. Like good fortune for you or something, and then they like give you a red bag with money in it. As a kid, usually it's only got like a dollar coin or something. Not a lot of money, but sort of. I always thought it was cool because wow, it's a dollar coin, you know. As a kid, I don't ride the subway, which is the only place I know of where you can get dollar coins. So the dollar coin was like really cool. As you get older, depending on how generous your grandparents are, you might get some more, or you might not get them at all. My mom stopped giving me hongbao because she thinks I'm an adult now, which I am. But my grandma, you know, old people want to keep thinking that of you as a little kid, so I don't mind. Grandma, keep giving me the red bag. It's not like I spend it anyways, I just put it into savings. There's also like traditions of food, like you're supposed to eat noodles for long life. You're supposed to eat dumplings because dumplings are shaped like money. If you've ever seen a statue of a Buddha like holding a little gold thing, that's sort of what the money's supposed to look like. So it's like, you know, packaging up good fortune for money or whatever. What else? Fish, I know, is another one. You're supposed to eat fish. I can't remember what the fish symbolizes. A lot of it is actually based on puns, which I can't properly explain to you because I don't know the actual words for the stuff, but my mom will explain it to me sometimes. And apparently Chinese love their puns because a lot of their traditions and stuff is based on this word sounds like that word and therefore we should do it. You know, it's a symbol for it, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, the gold fortune things, kind of like what the fortune cookie is shaped like, I suppose. Hi, Casey. Glad you can make it to the stream. If you missed it earlier, I was explaining what I'm working on today. I'm doing the last two tarot cards of the deck. I've been working on this Jets Black Nuzlocke flavored tarot deck just for fun. And my last two cards are the Tower and Death, because they're like the hardest. For Death, I couldn't figure out who I wanted, who I thought it represented most. So in the end, I kind of chose a character that I felt represented the card as a concept. Because in the tarots, I think, in the tarots, the Death card isn't necessarily a bad card. It's less representative of physical death and more like a spiritual death or a death of renewal. So if you're into story writing, you might know of the Darkest Hour is one of the what is it called, the hero's journey steps, is when sometimes it's called the belly of the whale, I think, where the hero has reached his lowest point and beyond that he has to, like, you know, rise up and be better. And I think this is a good sort of representation of what happened in that part of the story for Jet, at least. So while the other cards sort of both, the card is representative of the character and the character also could be seen as symbolized by the card. For this card, it's more like the character just represents the card itself. I think I'm getting her shoes wrong. Let me look up a reference for my own character because I don't remember what she looks like. Never tried Chinese. How punny. Casey says their Father's Day is on August 8th because 8 is Ba in Chinese and Baba is the word. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that one. My mom says that in I forget if it's Cantonese or a different form of Chinese, but the word Ba is pronounced Fa in some pronunciations. And Fa means luck. Like, 恭喜发财. Let's see. Mistral City. So that's why 8 is also considered a lucky number because it sounds like luck. Oops, I gave Skyla pants, and she doesn't have pants. I knew something was off. Okay, let's bare those legs, girl. I think Skyla is the least dressed of all my characters in the Nuzlocke because of her official design. In terms of the bottom, at least. I can't remember what Elisa wore, but I think even she wore more than Skyla did. I don't recall any of the other characters bearing their midriff and wearing shorts. That's just a kind of... It says something about me and how I really, after all these years, still can't draw human anatomy because I just kind of cover it up with clothes. Don't make me draw the human. I want to see if she has a pocket. Yes, she does. I did not know about the Father's Day thing, though, but that makes total sense. That's hilarious. You got the notifications now, hey! Well, now I just feel foolish. Repeating myself all day long. Yes, sirree. And I guess now I don't have to repeat myself because YouTube goes back. Like, you can scroll backwards if you want to rewatch parts of the stream while I'm streaming, so... That's something that Twitch will not let you do. I know because I was on Tails' stream the other night and I missed something. And so I was like, I'll just scroll back to see it, and nope. No can do. No can do. Oh, that's a little weird. How is this? How does this work? The sketch made sense, and now I'm lost. Okay, I think the problem here is I'm not leaving any room for her body. So let me put her hair in. 'Cause this is going to cover part of the top. Yeah, I'll start posting these somewhere. Once I finish all of them. They're all kind of sketchy like this. I'm not going super clean with them in terms of the style, but for some of them it works. If I can finish these on time, I will go through some of the older ones and just sort of go over real quick what I intended for them. But oops, man, I just can't remember her design. She has this weird turtleneck, so give her that. And then she has the top, just like that. Her belt. Oopsies. I think that works. How do pants? She's got the belt coming around down on her thighs. These belts I placed strategically to make sure that if she were to attach a harness to it and actually go skydiving, she would be well supported. Had to look up skydiving gear for and parachute gear for reference. It was a lot of fun. And I think the official design also sort of implies that she goes diving in them. I want her hand to actually be holding the pole. Let it curve that way. Wonders of dresses and long coats and how much they hide. Yes. Please. Everyone, I'm gonna like set my next story in Victorian England where everyone has to be fully covered. Alright. Yeah, but I've always wanted to do a tarot card deck of some kind. But I never had the opportunity to really sit down and study what the different cards meant. I got a little overwhelmed the last time I tried to do it on my own. This time, since the Discord sort of put it out as an event theme, sort of, a bunch of them were looking up the cards and sort of talking about it, and it helped me figure out what I was supposed to look for. Also, they shared a pretty useful site that lists not only the traits, but also, like, has the story written out. Like, personally, I didn't really know that the cards put together were supposed to represent some kind of story. That was really interesting. Maybe I should give her more of a... more of a sassy look. But I don't know. It doesn't really look like she's looking at anything. She kind of looks cross-eyed, if anything. Let's see if we could cape that. And, but this is going to be one of those that I'm going to have to explain a lot. Some of them are a little, obvious. Some of them are a bit spoilery. Others just need a little explanation, but I think that's what makes it fun. I don't have any reverse cards. I feel like with the actual face cards, you should have just what it represents, and then the upside down, the reverse of it, would just be that character upside down. But there are certainly some who are putting their character as specifically reversed, and I think they're more just matching a card that is good for that character, which is also really fun. Maybe if I had more time, I would do a complete reverse deck, but as it is now, this is all I have time for, because after I finish this, I'm gonna go back to working on the Nuzlocke. Every waking minute I get any time at all. A swan is scary. I think I mentioned this on one of the streams, but I noticed the other day, well, not the other, I always say the other day as in some point in the past that I can remember. If I can remember it in the past as happening, then it's the other day, even if it was like a month ago. But I was back when I was doing the Skyla arc, I was looking at Swanna for the first time. And I realized that it sort of looks like a Reshiram in its design. If you think about, not just because it's got a long white neck, but it's also got the fluffs on the chest, which Reshiram has. It's got the side fluffs on its cheek, which sort of mirror the fuzzy cheeks that Reshiram has. And it also has the long big one on the top of the head, just like Reshiram's tufts, or even the really long hair that he's got. I was like, oh man. And then I looked and I'm like, oh, he's also got, you know, feathers. And Reshiram has feathers. And he's got, you know, Reshiram is more bird-like. And I kind of had an idea that what if, I didn't end up going with it, but one of my original ideas was what if the Pokemon, because I don't think in the game they specifically say what Pokemon it was. They might have said it was a Swanna. I don't remember. It's one of those things where I've believed it to be a certain way so long that I don't remember if it's canon or if I just made it up. But the Swanna that Skyla heals at the top of the tower, I was imagining what if it was a Reshiram that was traveling the world disguised as a Swanna. Sort of like an Odin situation where God walks among the mortals and is like judging them or whatever. I don't know what Odin was doing walking around as an old man on Earth, but I can imagine if Reshiram, rather than just sitting still and like waiting for his hero to arrive, that since he's the embodiment of truth, that he would seek out potential heroes. I thought that was cool. Oh, gotta plug it in. Where'd my plug go? Uh-oh. There it is. It's very surface level, the resemblance, but I never gave Swanna any thought before as a Pokemon. The most I ever thought about Ducklet was, it's cute. By the time it turns into a swan, I'm like, it's a swan. I know Ducklet is also just a duck, but it's like, I mean, it's blue, it's got a heart on it, kind of looks like Princess Tutu, it's cute. It's like, ah ha ha, it turns into a swan, because ugly duckling. By the time it's Swan Eyes, kind of like, whatever, it's not interesting. But thinking of it as like sort of a Reshiram SB, is that the right word? XB? Like sort of, I don't know, an avatar. Let's use that word. Or a Reshiram avatar. Seems a little cooler, in my book at least. Of course, I couldn't let Zekrom not have any fun, so I thought of her as being a what are they called? Drudgian? Druddigon? Those ugly old dragons that are in the the Dragon Spire. Is it Spire or Spiral? Dragon Spiral Tower, where the Blackstone is, or the White, I guess, depending on what version of the game you play. I don't know if she would actually be transformed as one of those, just kind of like Reshiram, but I can imagine, like, if she was, she would be, like, roaming the tower, picking fights with anyone who enters it to test their mettle. Zekrom being the embodiment of ideals, the ideal strength, the ideal future. So you would have to have the you know, a strong enough conviction and enough power to see it through. She wouldn't want no weak braggart who just talks a big talk but doesn't walk the walk, you know. I don't like how those feathers are coming out on the side there, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. Not ugly. Hello. Hi, Louisa. Hello, Louisa. Thanks for coming by the stream. Drudgegon. They're a little ugly, but they also look like Zekrom. I will not complain about Drudgegon's design because it's ugly in a nice way. It's like, I don't mind it. And I do like ugly Pokemon. If I call a Pokemon ugly, it's not always a discredit to its design. Sometimes I just like that it's ugly. I would consider Emboar to be quite ugly, in fact. But Sir Francis is a great guy. And for any ugly Pokemon out there, it is always possible to make a Uggo cute if you want it. It's all about proportions. Trying to decide which sketch line is the one I wanted to keep. I think this goes all the way down to here. Oh, this is Swana's leg. I should probably draw that in. I'm like, what's all these lines down here? I will spare you today, Zero. Thank you. Thank you for your mercy, Chico-san. It's a miracle. I'm always too late for your streams, but not today. Not today, pal. You made it. Yeah, sorry, you always miss my streams. The times are a little... The times they are a-changin'. I'm gonna be doing them at 9 from now on. Whatever time it is for you, but it's currently 9:30 for me. So hopefully that means you'll be able to catch more of them, as they will also be ending a little later than the norm. I caught a Doodle Date stream the other day. It was right before my friend Tails' stream, and I was like, oh, I finally caught a stream. They must be just starting. No, apparently they were just ending, and they had been streaming for 3 hours. And it was like way early in the morning for them. And I was like, what? It's like evening. So I don't know how time works. The world is too large for me to comprehend where everyone is. But wherever you are, whatever part of the world you come from, I'm glad to have you for as long as we can have you. Yeah, just finishing up this tarot card. This is a death, represented by Skyla from my Nuzlocke. Yeah, and these cards aren't going to be colored. I might throw some color in some other day, if I really feel like it, but for now, I kind of like how they look in black and white and just kind of sketchy. This new brush that I got, from creatureartteacher.com works really nice. It doesn't work the way I wanted it to. And it's still a little difficult, I will say. It's not completely just like a dream to use, but having used it a little bit, I do like its quirks. I don't know what to put on the flag yet, so I'm gonna leave it be. I'm gonna get the other leg in. Hello, Tails! Hello, hello! Luisa's from Brazil! Whoa! That shouldn't be too far from me, actually. Brazil, that's South America. I don't know. I don't know what timeline you're on. Timeline. So, let's see. Yeah, no, my geography is too bad. I want to say Brazil's on the east coast of South America. Don't kill me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Who's the dead body? Can you tell? I'm gonna draw him in soon, and maybe you can try and decide who it is. I'm not really happy with the position he's in. It's a little bit awkward, but whatever. Just gonna shade this in. Yeah, so Skyla as Death, riding her Swanna of Death, I'm sorry. Let's draw the king in. So I only have one character on the ground. Maybe I will add some more. There is some space down here. And I can obviously block him out, but I'm running out of characters. After how many cards are there? 22? After around 22 tarot cards, I'm starting to run out of characters to cast as these card things, because not every card just has one character on it. Some, like the Death card, has several. You got Death, you got the horse, and because yes, I have to consider every extra animal to be a character, which some of them aren't. Some I just chose Pokemon that properly represent it like visually. But if I can help it, I do like to pick someone from my comic. You've got the king who's lying dead on the ground, and then you've also got the children, the child, the woman, I believe. Ooh. Someone's revving up the engines. I don't know if you can hear that, but let me just check real quick. I think my microphone pattern is set to only pick up sound from a certain radius. So you may or may not have heard that. Hopefully you're in a better timeline than the USA. Oh no. The island from Canada. Labrador. Labrador sounds like a dog breed. Is that a place in Canada? Oh, because Getsus and N both get their own card. I don't want to repeat them if I can help it. Skyla would get to Rio de de Janeiro in the blink of an eye. Most would likely have her Swanna shot down in a blink. Oh no! Not her Swanna! Okay, as much as I love cowboy hats, they're actually one of my least favorite things to draw. I'm just gonna shade it a little like that. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But yeah, no, N gets his own. I think N, I made him Judgment. And Getz's is the Magician. Yeah, so need 4-speed, baby. Well, her Swanna is probably will have enough maneuverability that he can avoid getting shot down just for a little bit. The king of the mountain lies dead at her feet. I haven't used Iris yet though, so I could potentially put her in. But I thought maybe it would be a little crowded if I did. So for now I've kind of left it a little bare. His leather shoes. There we go. I wonder if leather is a thing in the Pokemon world, and what Pokemon it would be made out of. Tauros, more likely. Can you tell? It's what's his face? Clay. King of the Mountain. McCree from Overwatch. Hello, Mr. Raccoon. Hello, mate. Thanks for coming by. Nick says hello. Hi, Nix. Hello. You can eat all the plums you want as loud as you want on my stream. I don't mind. Pay after sex. Oh man. Okay. Let's put some corn in the background. I'm almost done with this one. The next card, the last card I have to work on is the tower. The tower card is really crazy. It's something to do with like, I can't remember if it comes right before this one or right after it. It's something to do with being torn down, having your world view like completely shattered or something like that. I'll have to read it again to double check. Something about like going from being really strong to being brought low, I think, if I remember. Oh yeah, I have the Volcarona representing the sun in a couple of these. So the Volcarona isn't necessarily a specific character, more just a symbol. Because the sun is used quite a lot in the tarot. The problem with the tower, though, isn't that I don't have a Pokemon for it. It's that I can't figure out how to represent it. Because the card itself is just a big old tower. It is literally the tower card, because all it is the tower. I think in some cards there are people on it, so I could put them on that in that sense, but the people look a little, they're like falling to their doom, and it's a little dark, I guess. There we go. All right. Put some of the ground lines, lay the groundwork, as it were. I can't believe Clay is dead. Oh no, I forgot the flag. Ugh, gotta put something on the flag. It's just the flower in the card. I forget what it represents. I think it's some kind of rose. I don't like all this black on black on black. Should the feet, yeah, the feet should be darker, I think. The one on top. Maybe the other foot will be darker too. I'll just do that, yeah. Might as well. Otherwise that one foot stands out too much. Something like that. He's got black feet. It matches. Let's see. All the plums for me. Hello, colorful chimera. Hello. Oh, you're Nyx. Ah, you split into two different people? What? Nyx speaking apart from Tails? What is this madness? Oh yeah, that's the same as your Twitter handle. I should have recognized ya. Crocodile would make some sick purses. Oh my goodness. Yes. That's dark even for you. Ring and pose. The crocodile have small arms. They wouldn't be able to sew the from Swan on top. That's discrimination for reptile. Doesn't have having small ease. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you had the small hands, you could do better needlework. But then no, I think Crocodile's problem isn't the small hands, it's the big old schnauzer. Like, she would never be able to see what she was doing past that nose to be able to do anything like thread a needle or let's bring that down. Something like that. Good. I'm unable to catch your stream, so I'm glad I got ya. Yay! Is it because of when you get off work? I've been rushing home from work to get to the streams as well. Ever since my work hours extended, it's been run home, eat dinner. I even pushed back the stream time to give myself time to eat dinner. Otherwise, it would be rush home, stream, and then at 12 o'clock eat dinner, which I couldn't survive with. So, yeah, I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the other cards' text. And I'm gonna change it to death. Drop these in group number 14, and there we have it. One card down, one more to go. Always at work. Oh, I'm sorry you have to work retail so long. It sounds terrible. Eat while stream. Give you some what's it called? The bak, that Japanese thing where they like eat on the streams. I forgot her other arm. Skyla only has one arm. What? There we go. No, it wouldn't look like that. Ah. There. I think something like that. Okay. Let's turn off that sketch. Let's see what the chat's buzzing about. Be in disguise. The cat's out of the bag. Nix is two people. There's a comic about this. How crazy would it be to run straight home from work and stream, or just stream from work? I've done that before too. I wanna entertain this idea of, shoot, what if Crocodile tried to do needlework? Well, one, she would be going like this to try and see. Maybe something like that. Okay, just by tilting her head, it made it work. What is she doing? She's trying to. I don't know how to sew. I've essentially have her stringing a needle through a thread that's already a needle that's already threaded, stringing through it. Whatever. I just wanted to see if I could make it work. I imagined something like her little hands down here, like doing the sewing, like this, and then her body, and then her head just like in the way, like that. But then I turned her head sideways, and it's like, oh, yeah, it works like that. Anyways, that's what we do in illustration. We make things work that aren't supposed to. Trying to find a Japanese comic about the croc. Oh, there's an actual comic about it? Mukbang. And it's Korean, if you're talking about that. Yes, that thing. The bang bang. When the muck goes bang bang, my baby shot me down. You're bad at this. what's tail? Yeah, I'm trying to find. Yes, there are actually a couple of kids books, with crocodiles as the main character. But let me see what I've got for the tower. So in the tower section of the tarot, it says, "How can the fool free himself from the devil?" Which was the card before, I believe. Yeah. The card right before is the devil. So, can he root out his influence? The fool may only find release through the sudden change represented by the tower. The tower is the ego fortress each of us has built around his beautiful inner core. Gray, cold, and rock hard, this fortress seems to protect, but is really a prison. Sometimes only a monumental crisis can generate enough power to smash the walls of the tower. On card 16, we see an enlightening bolt strike this building. It has ejected the occupants, who seem to be tumbling to their deaths. The crown indicates that they were once proud rulers. Now they are humbled by a force stronger than they. The fool may need such a severe shakeup if he is to free himself, but the resulting revelation makes the painful experience worthwhile. The dark despair is blasted away in an instant, and the light of truth is free to shine. This is a really intense card, but the card itself is just a tall tower that's being struck by lightning. I knew it was the Tails, Nyx. I don't know you to call anyone else, certainly not me, that, but I was wondering what you were referring to her saying. Like, her? Is she the one running home to stream right after? Oh my goodness, you guys have to take care of yourself. Couldn't find it, but got a link to some pics. Yes, please. It sounds fun. Japanese comic, a manga, one may say. So let's see. I'm going to have, it doesn't make much sense, but I'm going to have Little Pete, the Emolga, act as the lightning, or at least maybe the source of the lightning. And it's not symbolic of anything. It's just literally because I haven't put him in any other card yet, and he feels left out, and also he's electric type. The one I want the card to actually represent is Duwat. And I don't want to, like, go too deep into it, but essentially his arc is gonna be that he, you know, it has what the card says. Built this tower, this fortress around his ego, or the tower itself may be the ego, and we need to tear that down. So, the process has already started. Charon has started to learn how to be a better trainer, and in doing so, hopefully he can set his own Pokemon back on the right path. And all three of his Pokemon, not including the, what's it called? An Unficent? Not including the bird, who doesn't get a character arc. Birds don't get character arcs in my world. It may be speciesist, but it's how it is. But the rest of them all have suffered in some form due to Sharon's negligence, but in different ways. And for Duwat, it's mainly his ego. He's completely bought the, I wouldn't say like lie, but the fantasy that that strength is everything that Charon has been preaching. And maybe it's time to let go of that sort of identity, to find something else to base his character on. But the problem is, I'm not sure where to put him in terms of the card. The only thing I can think is he's gonna be one of the kings that are fallen out of the tower. So how do I make that more prominent? I don't like the pose that I've given to this guy, so let's just erase that and start over. Maybe if his hand is up here instead. And then something like that. Uh, when I stream and come straight from work. I didn't know that. And then you stream for so long. No wonder you seem so tired. Oh, that's difficult. Start routine every Saturday. Literally run into the... I know that you do that sometimes because you like talk about it, but I thought those were like, you know, exceptions, I guess. Or maybe I just kind of hoped that they were. Is the tower the cemetery? Wonder what he'd end up naming himself if Sharon will. Or if Sharon will. I think Sharon will end up giving them new names, which makes me sad because I do like Stir Fry as a name. I think that's like one of my crowning moments. Like I'm really happy with that name. But if Sharon ends up giving them new names, then they're all gonna get new names. If not, then he's just gonna keep calling them by their Pokemon name, which is essentially what Ash does in the anime. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that in terms of like forming a bond with your Pokemon. The other Pokemon sort of just start giving each other names more in a teasing way, I suppose. I can't I can't imagine Stir Fry gave himself that name. He doesn't seem to speak at all, honestly, but Mao probably chose his own name. But I'm sure Pokemon had names that they called themselves while they were in the wild too, or maybe, you know, that wasn't necessary, but in any case, they seem pretty readily taking to a new name when their human gives them one. They're nicknames anyways, right? They're called nicknames because they're not the real name. It's just something that you call them. I don't know what his name would be, though. I think part of the reason why I haven't named Duat is because I really can't think of a name. I just literally... I feel like that's probably why Sharon won't give any of his Pokemon names, which is what I'm leaning towards. I think for the rest of his time as a trainer, he's always going to call his Pokemon just by their species name, only because he can't decide. Maybe in the end, Duat will choose his own name, and it'll symbolize him not just blindly following his trainer or having his identity set based on what his trainer does. And that could be good. What would he choose his own name to be? Let's do a little bit of a stylized so we can... Oh, gotta get rid of that tail. The tail's in the way. Or oh, you were just, yeah. It's funny though because I just kind of threw out randomly something silly and completely undignified for Fire Dog to call him, and now everyone calls him Blue Boy. And I feel so bad. But yeah, I don't know, maybe something like something lame, but he thinks it's cool, like strength. Like or champ. But then no, it wouldn't be one of those though, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of letting go of that idea. It's hard to let go. What if the tower cracked in half? That way I can have the tower a little bit taller, but... But now I have to sacrifice the top of the drawing. Another thought I had was because the tower card has both the fire and the ice. Not ice. Why did I say ice? The fire and the electric. That I could have Zekrom and Reshiram sort of dealing damage to it. Which also doesn't make sense, but it would be kind of cool. I think those two are the only Pokemon that I've put in multiple cards. They have their own card, and then they're also kind of a side player on another card. So, they make a cameo, I should say. When I found out Sharon had an older brother, I thought you were going to make Sharon name his Duat after him. That could be a good idea. I wonder, I don't see that often, actually, naming your Pokemon after actual people that, you know? Oh. That's the kind of good idea that I'm not used to coming up with. I will consider that as an option if you would let me. Not sure if it's the option I will go with, depending on how the story goes. A lot of the times with these, character moments, it comes when I least expect it, and it happens in a way that I don't quite intend for it to. So we'll see how it goes. Depending on where he ends up at the end of the journey. He also kind of has this sort of rivalry with Fire Dog. So I was wondering if I could give him a name that sort of mirrors the dog naming convention that Fire Dog and Lil Dog have. Like River Dog, since he's an otter. Yes, Sly Dog. Terry! That makes me think of Terrytown from the Zelda game. Let's see. Up top, instead of a crown, I'm gonna put a Samawat's helmet. Oopsies. Samurott. River Dog would be cool. Yeah. How did it become a rivalry with Fire Dog as opposed to the one who actually defeated them the first time? 'Cause Lily... I don't know. Lily's not much of a rival to have. And, Fire Dog was the one who kind of made fun of him, you know, for it. I think what happened the second time was Fire Dog poked fun of him over being defeated by their team. So he was being sort of, oops. Oh no, I thought I closed out of the window that the stream was on. I don't know if that would affect the stream, but I don't know. I'm trying to look up Samurott, but it's not letting me. Samurott. I don't know what the helmet looks like. I was trying to, I was trying to figure that out too. When I was writing the dialogue for the battle in the desert, I had completely forgotten. And this is how bad I am with keeping track of stories. I had forgotten it was Lily who beated him the first time. In my brain, I had tricked myself into thinking that it was Fire Dog who beat it on the first time. Because his dialogue when I was writing the script was, "That's twice I've beaten you so far." And then I went back and I looked and I was like, oh, shoot. Lily beat him the first time. So I think I changed it to something like, "That's twice we've beaten you." Blue Boy just... And no, the tower isn't gonna be the cemetery. I mean, it could be. Could it be? The only thing that would make it look like the cemetery would be to have the bell on the top, I think. I can try to put some designs on the outside, but apart from the bell on the top, the tower is the celestial tower is pretty bland looking. It's kind of just a tower, with some windows on the outside, I think. There's not much design on it. I think it's supposed to be sat on top of some mountain, so I'll kind of make the semblance of a mountain at the bottom. Kind of like that. I don't know how to draw mountains. Let me put in the text first. I'm gonna throw in the text so I know where to stop. Is it the tower or just tower? Let me look this up. Tower. The tower. Okay. So the card calls itself the tower. The tower. Blue Boy just realized that Lily would be too chill to be a rival. Yeah. I think it's not so much the literal defeat as it is the rubbing in the face of. The first defeat was more like, yeah, like, okay, our first, like, his first loss, big deal, he'll work through it. And then they meet up again, and it's like, wait, you making fun of me? And then he also loses again. Oh, does he lose? I don't think he lost again. That battle didn't have a conclusion. But he doesn't appreciate being made fun of, is what he got angry about. He's very prideful. Like, even if he lost, but you were like, a worthy opponent and respectful or whatever, maybe he would let it go, but Fire Dog's a little bit of a grasshole. This was supposed to be a sketch, but I think I might just make it black and call this the actual thing. It happened with some of the other ones too, but the sketch is coming out pretty smooth, so I might not worry about rendering this out. And then I suppose Celestial Tower has sort of this sort of design. I can't remember. I'll look it up later. Samurai's helmet. Okay, so let me just finish this tower real quick. Let me see. Celestial Tower Pokemon. So Zero, how early do you plan out a Pokemon's personality? That's a good question. Let me think. The ones that are important for the story, I plan out way ahead of time. But a lot of the ones that I planned out don't really happen the way that I did plan them out. So, like, Sir Francis, I don't know what was going on with him in the first arc, but he was very morose. And I think I had something in mind for him being I think left behind from like not being chosen the previous years. So he was upset or something, but it started out being he was supposed to be like that, but for some reason it turned out more like he was just worried about being Jet's Pokemon because Jet was such a bad trainer. But now he's just a big old happy guy, and I'm like, what happened? A lot of these Pokemon get their personalities from the design. It's not a good way to write a character, but sometimes that's just what happens. I think at some point I'm gonna pull out my old notebook where I have all of the notes. I'm gonna do a bit of a tour through it to see how things changed from when I first played the game. Because I was writing the story way back when I was playing it. I was putting down notes like, this character should do this. This character should have this kind of gag. This personality. Way back then, I kind of had these ideas. But a lot of them changed since then. Fire Dog has always been the cross your arms, like, really cool kind of doesn't care about anything kind of dude. He's been harder to write lately. He's been a little more almost like Sir Francis was in the first arc, a little down. So I've been trying to get him a little happier, you know, a little more into what's going on and not just sulking in the background, because I don't like a sulky character. I do them a lot by accident, but I don't actually like a character that just sulks all the time. And he's been sulking a lot in my sketches, so when I go around to, like, do the line art, I'm like, no, you're gonna have a different expression. Which Pokemon turned out most different from what you planned? So you gotta go with the flow. Yeah. Shoot, even some arcs, like entire story arcs, don't happen the way I planned for them. I'm gonna try and stick this tail somewhere. Like that. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this down. I'm gonna erase the background, kind of turn this down, and on top I need to sketch some more for Duat, because he's the only one falling out of the tower, and it's gotta be cool. I mean, not cool, but like it's gotta work for the oopsies. I'm gonna look through my little notebook right quick and see what I had technically. I guess none of them changed that much. It's mostly the one that changed the most hasn't entered yet, and that's only because I don't plan to go that funny with the story. But off the top of my head, I can't remember that far back what I actually planned for certain Pokemon and what happened to them. I would definitely need to think about it. Good question though. That's a thinker right there. Samurot's helmet is just oof. I think the one that changed the most from what I planned specifically for the story is actually Jet's sister. And the only thing is because she ended up not being in the story. I planned for her to have so much to do in the story. You know how like before you go to a gym battle, there's always that guy who gives you water and then like gives you some tips about the gym coming up. She was supposed to be that guy, and like Jet was supposed to have a lot of trouble, and she'll ask her sister for advice, and then her sister having gone through it, my sister having gone through Pokemon White, would like give her advice. Yeah, that didn't end up happening. Skyla changed a lot. I don't remember exactly what I wanted her to be like, but I do know I didn't have much going in. She wasn't really going to be a main player. But in the end, I think she became one of the most important gym leaders. Bianca changed a whole bunch. Certainly in a good way. I like how Bianca changed. Having played the game, you know, you have the whole thing with her father, like, being too coddly and, like, wanting her to go home, and she's, like, fighting against that, and, I had her more timid and more, like, unsure of herself, but she ended up being, like, a really solid, sort of foundation for Jet. Bianca is the one who knew what she wanted the most, it seems. In terms of Pokemon, though, let's see. Let me go through the Pokemon. I think Fire Dog changed very little. Lily changed very little. I did want Lily to be cute and happy, and I did want Fire Dog to be cool. And Lil Dog didn't change much either. When I first caught him, I named him Lear because I was like, yeah, he's gonna be like cool and glary and stuff. But since he never really evolved, he just sort of stayed cute, and I wanted to play that up. That gives me anxiety, things not going according to plan. Yeah, like I said, Skyla, I didn't have much of a character, but she was gonna be much less involved. Like, just throws you around the gym a bit, and that's sort of just a normal gym leader type person. It it looks like a weird Pokemon. Something like that, maybe. Just leave it like that. Okay. Always liked Bianca's down-to-earth character. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm cooking up burgers. Ooh, burgers sound good. Does that mean you're eating the breads now? I can't remember what you said about that diet you guys have to do where you can't eat certain things if it's like coming to an end or not, but yeah. Today being Chinese New Year's Eve, I was thinking about it, feeling sad that you couldn't eat a lot of stuff. You know, the Japanese, when they say hamburg, it's kind of more like a steak, like a Salisbury steak with no bread. I was shocked and appalled when I first heard about it. No bread. Just a patty. With more patty. Just get 2 patties with a patty in the middle. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the tarots and I'm gonna kind of look at this, what this guy is doing. But no, I think talking with the Discord, the Pokemon comic Discord, it's a very, the comic process is very different for every person. We've got a guy on there who literally plans out every panel in his script. And it works for him. And I can't imagine his, plan changes much from beginning to end. That's probably a better way to do it, I wouldn't say it's good to go in with the mindset that, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing, but things will change anyways, so why plan too far ahead? A lot of the times things are changing because I literally can't find the right thing to the right way to draw a certain thing. Like, I can't draw this panel that I had planned. The pose isn't working, so let me do another pose. And that's just me not being able to draw properly, changing the story. But also, when I was first playing the game, I had in mind something a lot more cartoony. And my comic's been compared to Looney Tunes before, so it's still pretty cartoony. But I was gonna be even more like almost original Nuzlocke amount of face changes and like even more anime references, like with bottles and Princess Tutu. I only ended up going with a few in the end. What was the inspiration for the tarot project, and are they going to be for sale anywhere? The tarot project is because, first of all, I have always wanted to do a tarot card deck. Um, it's been like a big sort of pipe dream, not really like a serious dream. Like it wasn't keeping me up at night. Like, oh man, someday I gotta. It was just kind of, oh man, that would be cool to have, sort of idea. And then on the Pokemon Discord, someone posted, what tarot card would represent your Pokemon, and I was like, what? I don't know about tarots much. And then someone posted a link that kind of explained them all, a little easier than the links that I had been trying to read before. And so I finally got it. Like, something clicked in me when I read those, that site that hadn't before. And I was also complaining on the Discord. I was like, I've always wanted to do this, but I can't do the aesthetic. There's this specific look that tarot cards have that I've never been able to capture, and this whole time I've been thinking I have to start from scratch. I have to, you know, come up with the composition and the characters and the design all by myself. And they're like, just draw the cards. And I think that's what got it to click for me. I was like, I suddenly realized that each tarot wasn't like arbitrarily just random. There was a set thing. Like, you have branch offs, obviously. Everyone can do a custom deck, but there was actually a canon, you could say. A canon deck that, yeah, like each element kind of symbolizes a thing. And so I went and I just sort of recreated each one, but with my characters, and it was a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. Am I going to sell it anywhere? Probably not, since they're just sketches. I might make a little booklet, maybe a zine sort of thing, and sell them that way. But other than that, no, I think that'll be it. If you are on the Patreon Discord, I'm going to be posting these with little descriptions of why I chose which Pokemon that are in the card. I haven't decided how I want to do that yet, because I don't want it to boggle the channel down. But that is something that I'm planning to do. And if you are following me elsewhere, this will probably be posted, you know, on Tumblr, on DeviantArt as a set, like, all together. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Just sort of loosely sketching, revisiting some old characters, and really sort of thinking about what the characters represent and where they're going in the story. I'm gonna have one shell flying off here and another one right here. Yeah, he's falling. Oh yeah, I remember watching a video about that sort of scripting that feels like so much. The scripting each panel, if you're talking about that, it is a lot, and I do not enjoy following a script like that, but it works. I've been commissioned to do a comic before where the writer basically just sent me a document with loads and loads of panel descriptions, and it kind of works. But it's really hard for me to visualize what a panel will look like before I actually get to the sketch part. Oops. Okay. can't plan drawings to save my life because I can hardly draw. No, Tails, you can draw. Tails does a Nuzlocke too, guys. Y'all should read it. I can't remember the name, but look up Tailsimp on DeviantArt. There's so many Nuzlockes that I have to read right now. I just finished reading... Sorry, I have it written here. I can't remember. Ringlock. It's a Gajinka Nuzlocke. Man, these Nuzlocks are so hard to remember the titles of. There's another one that's really cute. I can't remember the name, but it's got like a Mudkip for the protagonist. It's done by Mouse on what's their name? Mouse. Maybe if you look up like Setter is the main character. Y'all should just read all the Nuzlocks. I don't know what to tell you. I'm bad at the shout outs because I can't remember names of stuff. But Tails' Nuzlocke updates like once a week. It's crazy. It's only one like page. It's not like the same length as mine. I think anyone who does like a long update once a week has made a pact with the devil. But she does a normal sized comic page, but one a week, and I'm like, whew. You go, girl. Nuzlocke suggestions posted anywhere on the site. I have a lot of them posted on my website, the JessBlack Nuzlocke .com. I haven't added Tails's yet. I need to do that, and I also need to add Mouse's. But I did add Deadly Sins spelled with SYN. Deadly Sins. I remember that one because it's I only recently finished reading it. The Gajinka one will go up soon. It's not a quick ad because I have to go through and I have to make thumbnails for each one. But there are a lot of good ones already on my links page, so y'all should check them out. Everything on there I recommend. Long update, it's so good, but like, how do you do that? Once a week, it's impossible. Sister Sin, yeah, Tails. Oh yeah, you're talking about hers. Ah, they actually have a backlog. So yeah, I asked them. I'm like, how are you doing these long updates so fast? They have like 10 episodes backlogged. Sorry for spilling the beans, Big Dingo, but yeah. I don't think it's a secret. No one updates that fast. But I'm worried because they are updating fast even though they only have 10. So like, unless they're also drawing more at the same rate, they're gonna run out very soon. I like the style of Deadly Sins. The eyes that they draw is really nice. The story so far is a little run-of-the-mill, but the characters are great. I usually read locks for the rival character, and Green from... I keep calling it... it's called Deadly Sins. Green from Deadly Sins is a good boy. I want more of him. Tails, your silver has a lot to live up to. My favorite Nuzlocke is Emmy's Folded. Folded is my favorite Nuzlocke, and it's only because of Silver. Okay, that's not fair. I do like Emmy, the character, as well. And I love her Drowsy. Now a Hypno. I love her, all of her other Pokemon, especially when they're in the middle stage. Middle stage, was the best stage in that comic. They were all the same size and the same shape. She had a Nidorina and a what is it called? A Croconaw and a Flaffy and a Drowsy, and they were all the same size and the same shape, and it was so cute. Love Folded Silver. He's so good. He's such a good boy. And the tone is really soft. It was like reading a cloud. Yeah. Especially Casey, I know you haven't read it. At least I don't think so. So if you remember anything, Folded by Amelia Knight, or just look up Folded Nuzlocke, you'll find it. Be cool if you could give one random card to buyers at con if they buy a certain item. If you ever table out a con again with your Nuzlocke. That's true. That's a good idea. But then I would have to like print them as individual cards. Also, I think I may have drawn these really, really small, so I may not be able to print them at all. But I could have a bunch of them and have them pick tarot cards out. That could be fun. And then I would pretend to read their future, their fortune. Casey, your fried rice looks amazing. I hope it tastes great, and I'm proud that you made some. Try to plan everything I can, but there's some things that change, and I cannot control that. And that's good. The end of that made me think of Wreck-It Ralph. It's like, sometimes I can't plan, and that's bad. But sometimes it makes it better, and that's good. I will never be able to control the story completely. And that's not bad. It's like a natural balancing of sorts, and it's part of creativity. Yeah, I think if you're too bogged down with your script and you can't change, that's also a detriment to creativity. There's something to be said about being able to plan and stick to a plan, but also to be flexible enough to let the juices flow. I could just take your money. I will give y'all a card deck if you want. Oh goodness. Alma will probably punch him at some point. Want to make good silver, but it won't be like Folded Silver. That's fine. It's good to have your own idea, because you don't want to become the copycat, you know? Like, if someone does something really good, then it's been done. You will either be compared to them. No, you will always be compared to what came before. So just do your own thing. And Silver needs a good punching sometimes. There's probably been different Silvers that I'm not aware of. I've seen another Silver running around, and I haven't read that Nuzlocke yet. And I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. But it looks interesting. The picture I remember is like the protagonist has her arm in a sling, and then Silver's making this really ugly face, and he's like, "Who did this? Why do you? What happened to your arm? Who did this?" But I don't know what the run is called, which makes it really hard to find. Overcooked to the bugbears. Oh no, Chimera, Nyx, you've ruined it. Slams fist into the ocean. You've ruined it. You blew it up. Oh yeah, Silver being the son of a mob boss would probably mean he did grow up with some not benefit, what's the word? Privilege. Oops. I erased too far. That's okay. It's okay. I'll just redraw it. It wasn't good anyways. Alright. The kind of lock I have read the least of is a Gajinka lock. I think I've read a grand total of 2. And one of them doesn't exist anymore. I think it was called Doubt and Trust. The acronym was like DAT Nuzlocke, and it was pretty good for a while. I think they made a big oopsie in the storytelling, and everyone got angry, and then they like sort of stopped, and now it's taken down from the internet, so no one can read it, which kind of sucks because design-wise, I liked the characters. I liked the character designs, especially for the Ghastly. I think it was either a Ghastly or a Haunter. I think it was a Ghastly. Right now, I just finished reading Ringlock, which is another really good one for the character designs. I like a good Gajinka that takes a while for you to figure out what it is, but when you do, it's like really obvious. Ringlock kind of hurt my eyes to read. It's very aesthetic. Of all the Nuzlocks I've read, it's the most aesthetic. And it's not a bad thing. It's just not necessarily my thing, but it's still fun to look at. And the art improved a lot from the first episode. But a lot of the times I kind of even if the storytelling isn't like top notch, even if the style isn't my favorite, I will tend to stick with a run if I like the characters. The first draw for me is always character. Second is style. Okay, maybe that's a lie. Maybe first is style. Unless someone suggests me a run, like someone says, "Oh, definitely read this," and I look at it and I was like, I wasn't going to because of the style. At that point, then I do need. What's this Pokemon called? What's the pre-evolution of Costacora? Oh, what's that big sea turtle? Ah, what's the sea turtle called? Tortuga? Torterra? No, that's not the sea turtle. Shoot, this is I had this Pokemon. Oh, what was it called? Oh gosh. Someone's gonna steal it from me. Caracosta? Yeah, but what's the pre-evolution? Caracosta. No, it's the pre-evolution. Terracosta? Tertoga. Tertoga? Oh my goodness. I did not shoot. Trying to catch Pokemon in this Discord channel is the worst. Sorry about that random digression. Half the time I don't know what the Pokemon's called, and the other half of the time I don't know how to spell it. It's but then I don't want to look it up because I feel like that's cheating. I had one of them in my game. He comes in later. But since I nicknamed him, I never knew what the species name was. Oh, what am I missing? He has whiskers. Can't forget his whiskers. Duot's so angry. Yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about. Let me check the chat. Add Ringlock to the list. Yes, check it out. If you're into the Gajinka lock, it's a decent read. Don't let the... So, I had to have the Discord tell me to read it, because the initial style is a little off-putting to me, at least. I didn't like the way they drew the eyes, but they get a lot better later on, and it gets really nice looking. It's just a little hard on the eyes. Tails loves Ringlock. Hey! Excellent! Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. Been organizing my ideas task for a Nuzlocke journey. Hopefully I can start reading some for inspiration. Chico, take a look at my suggested reading list on my website. If there's anything you haven't seen, definitely check those out. And I will be adding Ringlock once I get a good screen cap, and I always ask the person first too before I just put their image on my website, so I have to contact them as well. But it will be up there soon. Hockey pucks, sure, be done with silver. I haven't been privileges. I've been blah blah blah. I have a long list. Pretty nice from afar texture. Oh, this pencil brush is actually a pastel brush that I got from creatureartteacher.com. It was only $3 for a set, but this is the only useful one of the set, for me at least. And then later I found out that having subscribed to the free to the mailing list, they had given me this brush for free, and I just missed it. So I paid $3 for a brush set for one brush that I already owned. And there is my weakness. But yeah, Creature Art Teacher has discounts all the time. They throw up discount events all the time of their stuff, which is already cheap. I think the brush set was originally $5 and it went down to $3. They also give 3 free brush samples. Like this brush was given for free. I don't know if they will give it again for free, but you know, it's always worth signing up. And if you don't want to sign up for their mailing list, just check out the YouTube channel. I don't know why I keep mentioning them, but I do watch the live streams sometimes. It's run by Aaron Blaze. He's a former Disney animator, and he does some good stuff. But yeah, I did the entire tarot deck with this brush, and it's been pretty nice to work with. My favorite thing with it is that when you press lightly and you draw like to shade something in, if you apply relatively the same pressure, you can get a decently even coating. Whereas for some other ones, it's sort of, you can see where the marks overlap if you lift your brush by accident. Okay, let's turn off these. Turn on this. Make it black. Increase the opacity. Erase what I don't need. Erase a you. Erase a you. Erase a you. You. This brush is actually pretty good for painting as well. If you follow me on Tumblr, you would have seen some monkeys that I painted. I did that with this brush. It's the one that he uses most on his live streams. The only reason I wanted it was because I saw him using it and it looked really nice. There we go. Oops. And we did it. What's the website again? I think it's called Creature Art Teacher. CreatureArtTeacher.com or dot whatever. Just Google it. I don't know what the extension is. His name is Aaron Blaze. He worked under Glenn King on The Beast and Beauty and the Beast, and he also directed Brother Bear. And he doesn't work for Disney anymore. A lot of 2D traditional animators left Disney when they started going digital, I guess. But he's been doing all right for himself. In fact, when asked if he would go back to Disney if offered the job, he said he's pretty happy where he is and he may not want to stop Creature Art Teacher website and courses and stuff to do that. It's, you know, good for him. When you've gotten to a point in your life when you can say, I've worked for Disney, I think I'll pass. I think you're doing pretty good for yourself. Okay. I don't want to noodle this any longer. I think we're doing, we've gotten that. We've used up way too much time. But now I think that should be the last of them. I've got the tower complete. Let's throw this into the group number 17. Turn that off. Let's go through them real quick and see what they look like, shall we? Nuzlocke, let me see what y'all are talking about. Tortuga, Langosta. I really like that pencil brush. Feel like Nuzlocke names are harder to remember when people do the lock. They're harder to remember when they do the lock. Oh. Constantly forget what ring lock is called. I don't know what ring lock it stands for. Maybe that's why it's hard to remember it, because I don't know what the ring part stands for. Mine will be called Chico Loco. Yeah! Seems like Watercat is being run over by an English double-decker bus, which is on fire. Oh no! What? Shoot, it's a little difficult to see. I might wanna. I don't know if I do, but I might wanna thicken the outline. I thought I was done, but then I looked at it again. Don't you hate it when you look at your stuff and you realize you're not done? He's not standing out from the bus enough, so I just wanted to... outline him a bit. Okay. Not too much. But he is way closer to us than that building. I don't think he's not bold enough. It's just I accidentally made the tower too bold. So I just need to... I also forgot his other pair of whiskers. Da, da, da. Okay, well, let's go through and see what I got. So, oops, something's going on here. So we got Lil Dog as the fool. I'm not gonna like really explain them here. I gotta write a little blurb later. You got the Magician, which is Getz's. Which I will be honest, half of it is because he looks the most magician-y, and but there is also symbolism there. Let me fix his eye. It's bothering me. This is my least favorite so far. No, this is partly my second least favorite, I think. I like what I did with the items on the table. The big thing with the Magician is that he has 4 items on the table. He's got a sword, a coin, a baton, and a goblet. And they each represent, like, one of the 4 elements of the Arcana or something like that. Lenora is the High Priestess. She's got a globe on her head. Let me make that a little more solid. I was thinking of putting the Lightstone there, but I kind of decided to give someone else the Lightstone. Oopsies. It's lagging. The Empress is Zorua. I think that's how you pronounce it, Zorua. Or Z, as you can call her. You got the Emperor. This is my actual least favorite. I'm not a big fan of how it looks, but I don't want to redraw it. You got the Hierophant, which is Sir Francis. And you got a Tiny at the bottom there. Is that okay? Yeah, the Lovers, which is another one that's a little misleading in the title. I think technically it is supposed to be romantic love, but there's also a way to read it where it isn't. So, not necessarily romantic love in this case, but I like the idea of July as that. The Chariot, of course, has to be Fire Dog, who's the most proud. Strength, obviously, has to be Charon. Who else could it be? And of course, for the lion, instead of a lion, you got Mao, the purloin, I think it's called. No, it's a leopard. A leopard. Let's check out the chat real quick before I go any farther. Story of my art career. What, being run over by English double-decker bus, which is on fire. Hello, Eleni, hearts all around. Welcome to the stream. Want to hit him with one of those items? Alder looks so unprepared. Yeah. Alder, always unprepared. Story of his life. The Hermit. I kind of want to see if the background would look good shaded in. Let's see. I know we were on a victory home run stretch, but I kind of want to... I think I have a Lediba. Either way, I'm not a big fan of bug Pokemon, so I'll let it go. I want to not waste too much time with this. If anyone's on Discord, there's a fun little extension that some of the channels, some of the threads have called Pokecord, where you have to type in a Pokemon's name in order to catch it. And I've been a little obsessed with the game for a little bit. But it's not the easiest. When I first joined, it seemed like it would be too easy, but it's actually a lot more difficult than I had anticipated. I have notifications turned on for it too, so whenever a Pokemon shows up, it pings me. The problem with it is it has to be really dark black, because there are parts of Reshiram that are shaded slightly, but not completely. So it has to be at least darker than that, and then if I push too hard, it just turns black, so I might as well make the whole thing black. I might lighten it later. I did put this on a different layer, just in case I didn't want it. But I just wanted to see how it would look. It always, whenever I come to this one, I take a look and I'm like, it's too something. There's just something missing. And maybe it's a dark background. Oops. So if the Reshiram is the Hermit, then obviously the next one will have to be... I'll let you try to figure out how I ended up doing that. Yeah, so in my headcanon, Reshiram is the male, and Zekrom is the female side of the things. And it's based on the Tao, yin and yang. The black is supposed to be the feminine side of the duality. And I just like the idea that even though Reshiram is the one that looks all like elegant and feathery and white, Zekrom actually has quite a figure. If you really look at her body. It's kind of curvaceous. And then Reshiram's got quite a lot of body hair and almost a beard. I accentuated his beard. I haven't locked in really on Reshiram and Zekrum's design yet. Nothing is canon until it's actually in the comic, so this design might change. Thus far, Reshiram and Zekrom have been in the comic, but they've looked different every time. There's never been a single canon appearance of either of them. I don't know how I like that. Let me see if I can knock back some of this. Maybe around his tail is also white. Yeah, maybe I like that a little better. I'll hold on to that, and I'll come back and decide on my own later on. But sorry, I've wasted enough time. Let's go to the next one. Zekrom is Chico's waifu. The Reshi is furrier. I like how Reshi looks like a wizard. And Reshi also has a weird, huge, feathery crotch fuzz. So, good for him. Tails wants to catch all the evolutions. What Pokemon do I want to catch? Let's see, my goals have already been established. I'm building a Rattata and a Patrat army. Is it Patrat or Patrat? Anyway, I'm building a rodent army. I haven't caught all of the rodents yet. I don't have, like, Diggersby or Sentret, I don't think. And I don't have Pikachu. Definitely want all the Pikachus. I already got an Audino. I have quite a lot of those. Because I bought them with my... I got daily bonuses and I just bought a bunch of Audino. I have Sir Francis is my starter, Fire Dog. I have someone traded to me. So I don't really have many goals right now. I would have to think about that. Everyone always makes Zekrom the girl. Everyone already does that? I thought I was being clever! Patrat. Okay. Pat's rat. Yes, do that too. Wheel of Fortune is Zekrom. She's forming a little bit of a circle with her arms, but what I love is all the symbolism. So if you haven't seen the Wheel of Fortune card, you've got the Wheel of Fortune in the middle, and around the Wheel of Fortune you have a Sphinx, here depicted by a Meowth. You've got a snake, and you've got an Anubis. And then on the four corners you have a human, a bird, a cow, and a lion, all with wings. And they're supposed to be reading books, but I didn't include the books. But it was a lot of fun putting in the extra people on the outside. I'm the most proud of how I drew Zekrom here. I think she looks great. Justice! I forget the exact meaning for justice for the cards, but I will explain it when I get around to posting these. But Jet, I think every protagonist of any story naturally fits the fool, especially in the beginning of the journey. So it's almost like join the Fool's Club, but that's kind of cheating. You can't choose the fool. You gotta choose someone else. And yeah, going forward, I'm gonna explain this one in due time. The Hanged Man. Poor old Bottles. You'll get your chance to shine. No, you won't. You're dead. Oh. But yeah. And he's being hung from a broccoli, if you can't tell. It's a huge broccoli. We've got Death. We've gone through that one today. Okay. Temperance. So I originally wasn't going to include Major. He's almost like a non-character. He doesn't have much character development or room for character development or much character to speak of. But he is evolved from a Tranquil. And Tranquil sounds like Temperance, I guess. I don't know. Moving on. The Devil. You've got the evilest character on my team. I don't know. She just fit aesthetically. Not much to say there. The Tower. The star of the show. And then I threw Red Eye in there for some reason. I don't remember why Red Eye's in there. He had to go somewhere. The Moon was fun. It's a little bit of a spoiler for later. A lot of my spoilers have to do with like how Pokemon will look later on, and but it's gonna be next month. But yeah, Mooney's gonna evolve soon. We're gonna get to see her in the comic. But for now, here's a little sneak peek of what she'll look like. Bottles gets to be the sun, because who do you think he is? Of course, radiant as always. Judgment. Who else better to judge the world than the hero himself? And of course the world. Zevaldo! Is that a friggin' Machop with wings? Yes it is. Yes it is. Like the moon. Hooray! And again, so with the Wheel of Fortune, you had the three in the corners. This card also has the three same creatures in the corners, but instead of the human, I have Stir Fry. Instead of the eagle, I have Tutu. Penelope is the lion, and Fluffy here gets to be the ox, because she's got horns. And yeah, that was a lot of fun, guys. I've got 30 minutes left. Let's play a little draw game. And oh, if anyone hasn't seen it yet on Tumblr, here's my Ekans Gajinka. I'm really proud of my boy. He's a lot of fun. Anyways. Yeah, why don't someone or everyone throw out a Pokemon, and I'm gonna do some little spin the wheel, roll the die, and see what we get. A bag of dice. Do you make international shipments? I do sometimes. It's rather expensive, but I have done it before. Chico, you contact me, and I will make it happen. If I ever print it out, I will send you a copy. It's a Gajinka. Haven't you heard of a Gajinka before? All right. Nix, you will get one too. If I do end up printing them, I will let you all know. Okay. So I've seen a Eevee and a Jirachi. Let me roll the die and we can decide what we do with it. 10 is Anthro. So I get to do an Anthro Eevee. Ah. 8. Mega Evolution. Oh no. Okay. And a Mega Jirachi. Oh goodness. Jirachi's already a legendary. So let's do these as fast as I can. Which will still, if you know, it'll still probably take the full half hour because I slow. And let's see. Anthro doesn't mean humanoid. It just means, well, I guess humanoid, yes, but not like Gajinka humanoid. So, I'm gonna see if I can throw some, personality on this thing. What if I get a little bit of a bookish nerd? Got a satchel. Let's make it look a little different from Bianca's. I don't want it to look like I'm just making a Bianca reverse Gajinka. So let's do it this way. Have a zipper bag. This Eevee's starting to look like a bunny. Anthropomorphizing animals is a lot of fun. I was really happy when Zootopia came out because it was like my dream. It's what I've been waiting for Disney to go back to their roots as a furry machine. I never know what to say when people ask me if I'm a furry. It's one of those terms that seem to mean something different to everyone. And I think in a way we're all furries. It just depends on what your definition of a furry is. Love Zootopia. A primal Jirachi. Oh man. Oh, whoa. What would a primal Jirachi look like? WTF is that I can try to pass as a human. That means it's beautiful, leave them be. Would it be primal? Yes. Fusion. Oh man. Now I'm wondering what a Eevee Jirachi fusion would look like. Okay, I guess I'll let you decide because I'm not big into the mega prompt. I can do it if you want me to. But which would you rather see? A mega Jirachi / primal Jirachi and me struggling with character design or creature design or an Eevee Jirachi fusion and also watch me struggle with creature design because that actually doesn't sound that easy either. I've got 2 for fusion. Whoa. I don't know what that one is. And Das is already typing away, so I'm not even gonna try. Dragalagi. Algae. I think the last is supposed to sound like algae, so it's Dragalgi. Shoot. It's been said that the Alola Pokemon are almost impossible to pronounce, but I'd say the Kalos Pokemon are quite difficult as well. You got French, and you got... what is it? Polynesian? 2 very unique language cultures that I am not prepped for. I was not trained for this. I guess Kalos is more impossible to spell than anything. So hot take, Alola Mola should technically be an Alola Pokemon, right? Alola Mola? I mean, it even sounds like Alola. And Yangoose is technically not a Kalos Pokemon. Because they were imported from somewhere. But, since we don't know where it's been imported from, since we haven't seen it yet, it's gotta be... it's probably gonna be a Gen 8 Pokemon, technically. I mean, location-wise, right? What makes you part of a certain generation? Is it location or discovery? Well, clearly it's been discovered somewhere else too. Because they brought it over. They brought him over. Yangoose. They don't belong here. fire. I think it was FYR is the acronym for Mouse's comic. What does this stand for? Find your roots. That's what it was called. Find Your Roots is a pretty cute Nuzlocke. It's very short so far, but the update is it's happening. It's not a dead lock at the very least. Sometimes we gotta be thankful for what we got. Alright, well sorry. I got distracted. We do need a steel Eevee. Fusion Eevee with a Jirachi. What would that look like? Eevee. Jirachi. Wait, what does a Jirachi look like? Jirachi. He's got a body, right? Oh my goodness. Eevee and Jirachi doing that DBZ fist bump thing. Tears t-shirt. You mean the one where they point their fingers together? Is that the one you're talking about? And then they fuse? Let's be honest, half the Pokemon names are hot messes. Yes. In universe or meta speaking? I don't remember the question. Because, like, in universe, the people seem to see whatever Pokemon in the region is that region's Pokemon. I have the Eevee song in my head now that you're drawing one, but in meta, we usually think of a Pokemon belonging to whatever region is introduced in. Like, Eevee is probably a Kalos Pokemon, but most of us think of it as... Eevee's from Kalos? What? What is this? What does Jirachi look like? No. I'm close, right? Oh, of course. I forgot the triangles. The triangles. He's got these little droopy parts, so maybe those can be the ears. But I kind of want it to lump up a little at the top. Kind of make it look like a bunny. It makes it look like a bunny. Which was not my intent, actually. So maybe not that. I need to keep at least one of their body types. I think that's how fusions work. Um, hmm. Let's see. Oops. That's out of proportion right there. Let's cut that down. Let's make it a little more like that. Never drawn a Jirachi before in my life. This is a momentous occasion. But it won't be a Jirachi for long if I can help it. Let's see what's going on here. Ooh, a Zubat. Zubat. I guess my goal is to catch a shiny Zubat at one point. At some point. Or a shiny Alolan Rattata. Or a shiny Love Disc, maybe? I don't know what the chances for shinies are. But a shiny Zubat would be cool since that was my first shiny. IRL. I actually don't know how many Zubats I have. Hold on. Is it info? No, I'm not gonna try it. I don't remember the code. There's a way that you can look up all the same Pokemon of one species. That might have been my first Zubat. Oh no, I don't want it to look like it's just an Eevee wearing a star on his head. What if I give him a beard? A big old beard. Let's just bring this down. Now he's got a beard. It's not good. You gotta go through trial and error to get to the good stuff. We'll find a good boy in here somewhere. We'll find us a good boy. I think there's supposed to be some kind of standard for fusions. Like from that website, I think it's normally a Pokemon's body type plus the coloration of the other Pokemon. I don't know what this lump in the back is. Because it's supposed to be from the Jirachi's head, but I don't know if I like it there. What if I open this up? Let me go back to the Jirachi. How does the Jirachi look? Imagine how expensive Pokemon textbooks would get. Like, almost every year you have to update the textbook because new info or a whole new generation is found. A whole new country is discovered. Maybe that's why we don't see colleges there. The Pokemon journey is the college. What does Jirachi look like? Not that. Well, Eevee was first shown to be, oh yeah, wild and Kalos, and its aesthetic fits really well in Kalos. That's true. I never thought of that. That's a cute Eevee raccoon. Thank you. Those are rectangles. No, they're triangles. Triangles. It's also wild in Alola, but it doesn't fit as well there. Maybe it's also an invasive species. Ho 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 ho. A colorful chimera says, "Oh, you could make 2 of the points in the star as ears." So that would make these irrelevant, right? What if those disappeared? Just have the ears like that, maybe? And then it's sort of like a star like this. Let's put the eyeball up here. I kind of like Jirachi's body shape. So I'm gonna keep that. Jirachi sort of has the same body as Cleffa, who's also based on a star. It's so freaking cute. It's so chicken cute. Thank you. Thank you. I try my best. Big ol' hairy arms. Let's move her over a little. To accentuate this ribbony tail. And then we'll take that down a notch. Bring this up. Okay. And of course that's the eye. So when it opens, it sees all. We have yet to have a bipedal Eevee, and I would love to see if there's a fighting Eevee that it becomes like bipedal, because that seems to be the trend. Is fighting Pokemon tend to be more humanoid, and having an Eevee fighting type stand up and start punching people would be pretty fun to me. As much as I know people don't like the whole quadruped standing up, I think Eevee has enough options that if it had one stander-upper, it wouldn't be uncalled for. I want, there needs to be more triangles. And those are teal. Just like this. Down here. And last color will be yellow. Just like our Jirachi boy. Just like that. And we are almost done. Yeah! Oh my goodness, are we gonna finish on time today? I can't believe it. It's not possible. Ah, but it is. You just need to believe. Yes, Ugwe-sensei. I will believe. Maybe that part should be white. Maybe I've been a fool. This should be white. It kind of you gotta have the white from the Jirachi, you know? You get the brown from the Eevee, the yellow and the white from the Jirachi. Zero finishing on time, the world's gonna end. Casey says, I still want a flying evolution. To be just a head with giant earwigs. Oh no! I don't think most people hate quad to buy. We're just all sick of it with fire starters. That's true. So cute. Thank you. Yay! No, thank you for this great idea. What is Chico hissing about? Jirachi, Jaravi or Etchy? No! No! Squirt you with a squirt bottle. Not in my Christian channel. Could make the star smaller and focus on the body, the floating parts, and the giant belly eye. Evie is just it's just do I have time to do this? Oh, it's just the belly eye ball and then the Eevee parts attached to it. It's been a while since we ended a stream on a nightmare, but here you go. This is the only thing that popped into my head when I read that comment. So sad we didn't get a dragon evolution to pair with Sylveon. That was a disgrace, and Game Freak should be ashamed, and their family should be ashamed, their cow should be ashamed. Both of them. You got your shameful Tauros and your shameful Miltank and all of her nipples. I still want a I don't think, okay, I read those. Mike Wazowski. All right, well, I want to say a very big thank you for all of y'all coming by to hang out with me on the stream, to spend New Year's Eve drawing Pokemon. Exactly what I want to be doing for the rest of the year. This has been a lot of fun. I'm glad I got through the finals of the tarot cards. That's been killing all of my free time and all of my drawing time, and now I can get back to actually doing the work I'm supposed to be doing, which is the Nuzlocke. But until then, thank you for reading my comic. Thank you for commenting and coming by to the stream and hanging out with me and making it a great time to just relax and make some cute pokes and sometimes some nightmares, but mostly cute. I hope I see you all again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. I'll be sending out that notification. So, Happy New Year, Happy Lunar New Year, I suppose, Chinese New Year, 新年快乐, and have a great evening. Bye-bye!